Hi, and welcome to It Figures. Tonight I am going to be reviewing The Rocketeer, and this is made by Funko. So if you've ever watched my show, you know I have reviewed dozens of Funko figures, but this is the first figure of theirs I've gotten in the more realistic looking series. Now, The Rocketeer was a movie that I think should have turned into a huge franchise. It should have been as big as Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he should have been as big as Indiana Jones. However, for whatever reason, The Rocketeer failed at the box office big time, so we never got a sequel and we never got a franchise. However, we finally got a figure, and I've been waiting for a Rocketeer figure for a long time, and I wish NECA would have gotten the rights to it because they've been doing a lot of great stuff. So it's kind of strange that Funko did get the rights to it. So I'm hoping it's going to be a decent figure. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up the Rocketeer, and hopefully he can live up to his legacy. So finally, here we go, the figure of the Rocketeer. First off, let me say that the sculpt of his face I'm not really impressed with, because I don't think it looks much like the actor. I suppose looking at him from the side looks a lot more like him, rather than just the straight on view of him. So let me go do a side-by-side comparison so you can decide, what do you think? Does it look like the actor, or is it too, I don't know, cartoonish looking? With that being said, let's look at the rest of the figure. First of all, his outfit is great. I love the folds in the cloth and the buttons that go across the top and the bottom of his chest are fantastic. The sculpt is a little smooth, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. His boots do look good. In fact, pretty much all the paint here is spot on. So I'm sure, like everybody else, the one thing that everybody wants to see is a backpack, including me. So let's take a look at it. Funko actually did a spectacular job with the backpack. The sculpting here is outstanding on this. It has every rivet and bolt and everything right from the film. And as you can see, he even has the gum that he used to plug up the hole. The paint on it too is quite excellent. So the backpack is super impressive. That's like probably one of the most important parts of the figure besides the helmet. When I seen this figure inside the packaging, I figured the helmet would just fit over his head, but actually that's not how it works. The helmet itself is an entirely separate head. So let's pop off his head and take a closer look at this. Just to give you an idea of what the mechanic of the head looks like, and it was really hard to pull this guy's head off. It's stuck on there pretty well. Alright, so now we finally have the Rocketeer. It's nice that he came with the actor's head, but this is of course what everybody wants. I doubt anyone who buys the figure will display it with the actor's head. Like his backpack, the helmet is pretty much perfect. It's really well sculpted. I really love the sheen of his eyes, so it almost looks like you could look through the helmet and see the person inside. I also love the depth of his mouth. They just didn't paint that on, it's sculpted in. So all the detail and the lines on the helmet are extremely well done. It's a huge difference when you put this helmet on and he becomes the Rocketeer. So let's take a look at articulation here for a moment. The head is ball jointed. The shoulders are also ball jointed. Both elbows bend. The hands rotate and bend a little bit. You basically have left and right on the waist, and his legs are very ball jointed. So you see it has, so here you have something really weird. This is basically a crease in his upper leg. There is no articulation here, so I guess it was just an artistic choice. I'm not sure, but it's a really weird place to put a cut mark. Both knees bend, and his feet also bend. So besides the actor's head and the Rocketeer helmet, he came with one extra, and it's his pistol. And as you can see, that it's not really that bad. I do like scraping on it. As you can see, it's black, but it has the silver like scratches on it, so it's pretty good. So as my first Funko figure that's not their standard Funko figures, more of the realistic versions of it, I'm kind of impressed with this. While it's not overly crazy detailed as some of the other figures that have been released, like I mentioned NECA, it has the detail where it needs the detail. I mean, just take a look at that backpack again. It's fantastic. You can pretty much pose him from the image from the poster too, which is kind of cool. So if I had any complaints about him, I would say it's pretty much a throwaway actor's head that I will never put on the figure again. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it does seem a little plasticky to me. Even though, of course, it's a plastic figure, it just seems overly plastic, if that makes any sense. There are really no soft parts to the figure. It's all hard plastic, which isn't bad. I mean, it's what it is. So overall, really love this figure. I think Funko did a great job portraying the Rocketeer. Now I wish somebody would actually be able to get an Indiana Jones license, Funko, and start making decent, well-priced indie figures. So if you like this review, please subscribe so I can see you next time on It Figures.